Hey guys, and welcome to Space Company Simulator. Have you ever wanted to be Elon Musk running SpaceX? Building rockets, launching them into the solar system, organising the exploration of Mars? Oh yeah, that's what this game is all about. And what I thought, let's just jump straight into the game, start playing, and then I'll tell you about it. So the starting setup, we need a company name. Of course, it's going to be SkyX, of course. And then you can choose a number of opponents. Yes, there are AI opponents. And I tell you what, they've just done an upgrade. They've just done an update to the game, because when I first looked at this, you could have between 2 and 5 opponents. And literally, I just reloaded the update. And now it's 1 to 3. Okay, so I guess we'll default to 3. And the difficulty, you've got easy, medium, and hard. We'll go medium. And then over here, this is where you can decide what your starting budget allocations are going to be, where your priorities are. So this one has science and production as a priority, as its priority. So science is number 1, that gets 70k, and then production gets 40k, and then the other departments get 25. Or you can go with production, get 70k, and science is the second priority. Or you can go for a finance approach, with finance and PR being your top priorities. Or you can go for a balanced approach. I think we're going to go with, let's face it, we all want to go with the science, don't we? Science, then the production, yeah, go on. So that's what we're going to go for. And there are some cool quotes on here as well. Elon Musk, very nice. All right, so let's jump in. All right, this game, I have, now this is an early access game. It's literally just been released on Steam in early access. And it's going to cost $19.99, apparently. So convert that into your local currencies. The game starts off. Hello, Mr. Chairman. As you probably know, you've recently become the CEO of this space exploration company. I'm Anne. I will be your assistant and secretary, and she'll do the tutorial. It would be worth letting me show you around. So now I'm going to show you the tutorial, because one of the issues I have is that the tutorial, it needs to tell you more, because man, have I been struggling with this game. This is a complex game. Yes, I could use a little tour. You're going to love this, guys. So the top panel shows the current funds of our company, together with all the department points we have. Okay, fine. Funds can be allocated for the development of the company, while the department points are used for the development of individual parts of the company. Okay. Your predecessor ordered the purchase of necessary equipment and the construction of a small launch platform before his leave, so we could work on the company's main goals. Okay, so we've got a bit of a setup. And the building is still under construction. It will be ready in the next week. In the future, you will commission rocket launches here. Okay, cool. And yeah, we're trying to get to a first manned landing on Mars, right? And that's it. And that's it. It doesn't then point you to anything. Okay, so I think maybe you're supposed to then click on this. So let's go to new contracts are available. An important department for the financial fluidity of our company is the one dealing with finances. Okay, this is where you accept new contracts, manage department budgets, and you apply for a loan. Thanks to the contract panel, we can learn about contracts available on the market, check the status of tasks we have undertaken, and review the history of projects completed by us. Okay. After selecting a specific contract in the list, details about it will be displayed. In the description of each contract, you will obtain important information, blah, blah, blah. And starting contracts are aimed at familiarising you with the basics of the company's operation. Okay, so it's very generalist information. Okay, fine, right? And then when you start looking at stuff, it's freaking complicated. Now you might think, right, because it says like click on the question mark. But you might think, well, that's going to tell me the same thing. Actually, it doesn't. So if we click on this, now it gives us some more information. Here you will find a full description of the contract. Description includes not only an introduction to the contract, but also the objectives required for its execution. The rewards for successful completion of the contract are also presented here, but you get penalties for not completing it, and it's possible to contract it. So it's all very general stuff. You know, lots of blah blah blah, general stuff, but it doesn't give you any specifics about, you know, like how you actually do stuff. Now, in the contract, to be honest, isn't too difficult. So, for example, we've got a contract here, foreign start, and it's pretty straightforward. So, who's who's giving us the contract, how much time we've got to do it. There's no time limit on this one. And what do we get from it? We get a payment of 500,000. Our reputation will increase by 500, and we gain 775 science point. Excellent. And we can just accept this because there's no time limit, so there's no downside to it. So, okay, fine. So this is somebody else is going to be using our launchpad, so we'll accept that. And then it gives us a planning option. And it says, oh, a launchpad is needed to launch a rocket. So we can't plan this yet. So we've got to wait until our launchpad is built. Okay, now, at this point, it's like there are maybe two things that you might click on. Well, like, new mail is highlighted, so I guess we should click on that. And now we get a little bit more of the tutorial. Here is it's possible to review all correspondence that you will receive in connection with running the company. And that's it. So that's that. And then we get welcome to the company. Here we go. This is the bit that tells you that if you have any problems with moving around the company, I will gladly help you with this. Just press the question mark sign. So you think it's going to be like just the same tutorial that you've had, but actually it's additional help. But even then, I think it's not enough. I tell you, I've really struggled to pick up this game. It is not intuitive. Like, I don't think it's intuitive at all. But then again, I'm a moron, dumb as a bag of hammers, so I don't know, maybe it's just me, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, so that's that email. We also get a mail from our head of security, who says he's the head of security. You can get certain espionage opportunities. If you need anything from me, I will be in the security office. I still haven't. I've been playing this for 4 hours. I've never found the security office. I've no idea. We've got research and development. That's mission control over there. Don't click on that because you'll get a black screen of death. That's the administration building. That's marketing. And over there is the assembly. So then it's like, okay, well, do we go to next turn? Well, you can, but really the game should be telling you, like, to get some stuff set up. Now over here, this is building mode. This is where you build all the other buildings that you can build on here. I will mention there is a day and night mode, and you can turn it off, and you can always have it at daytime. And you may be thinking, well, you know, like, things are running, time's moving, isn't it? Shouldn't you be pausing the game? There is no pause to the game because it's purely turn-based. So if we go up here, you can see that in-game time is not passing. Okay, so let's go and have a look at building mode then. So, okay, that's the building. This is the buildings map, but you can click on this, and then this is how you actually build new buildings. But even this is like, this needs to be explained more because it isn't obvious. Some things are obvious, like, so this is building, and it's got 6 days left, so it'll complete this turn. Okay, that's great. And then if a building is ticked, then it's been built. If a building is green, then you can build it. So for example, this space program, we could commence construction of that. But if we go to something like the medium assembly building, it doesn't tell you what you have to do in order to be able to build this. Now over here, this one does. The medium launcher tells you you need to discover multi-staging technology, and you need to have constructed a medium assembly. Okay, so I want to build a medium assembly, but it doesn't tell me how to do it, and there's no help and nothing. So stuff like that makes it does make it kind of difficult to, like, initially get into the game. But hey, one thing I will say is the game does look very nice. Love this screen, and the rocket launches, as you'll see in a minute, are pretty cool. Let's delve into some of the stuff. So up here, this tells us our account balance. We start with 40 million, and we are currently losing 185k a week because we've got loads of costs, and we're not making any money. So we need to turn that around. But that's gonna take a while before we start turning that around. Over here, this is the possibility of increasing the company's prestige. So we've got a little bit of prestige coming in because we've got high funding to the PR department. If we appoint department managers, that can help us bring in prestige, conference bonuses, workers' morale, growth from department perks. But of course, none of this is, like, really explained. You've got to find it out. And then over here, this is lobbyists. This is how you basically start to get funding. If we go into the finance area over here, and go to, let me see, let's go to the budgets. In the budget window, you will determine funding for each of the departments. Low budget will limit the development of the company and the function of a given department, but it will allow us to save money. So it's like you get what you pay for, basically. With a high financing of the department, additional bonuses will be unlocked. Okay, cool. Funds can also be modified by external factors such as investors or expenditure on employed managers. Okay, fine. So then you're just presented with this, and it's like, wow, what the hell is all this stuff? And essentially, it's a case of, well, allocate your budgets, and the higher up your budget goes, the more of these you unlock. So we might decide, HR, do I want to access 3 additional workers? I don't know, but go on, I'll do it. I'll bump the budget up a little bit. What's the next one? Another additional 3 workers. Okay, so, oh, now I've got to bump it up a few notches to get that. And then this one, finance. If we notch it up, then we can get an additional $3.13 thousand of funds for all of the departments. Okay, but it costs us. So to get, now there are 5 departments, so that's like 12,000, maybe 13,000. But it costs me 50, 60. So what's that like? It costs me like 30,000 to get in it. So I don't know whether this is good. Is this bad? Who knows? And I'm not sure what other bonuses I'm getting from this. Let's say if I notch it back down, it doesn't seem to change anything else. Well, it gives me, oh right, so it's raising, okay, this is something I hadn't noticed before. It's raising this, which is going to increase the amount of prestige that we get with higher funding. So if we crank this up, but it's not changing this. I don't know, maybe it'll change it when we go outside. I don't know. There is, seriously guys, there's so much to this. This is one of those games I think that if you take the time to learn it and get into it, it's going to be interesting. By the way, let me stop and say, I absolutely love the UI. I love the fonts. It's so clean and crisp and nice. I can't say enough good things about the UI. The UI is really nice. It's the tutorial and the help. You need more to get into this. Anyway, okay, so we'll bump that up. So that one will just unlock that. Increased PR points, gained by 0 weekly. Now, if I increase that, that doesn't seem to change. So I don't think there's any point at this point going higher than there. We've cranked that one up to there. And this is decreased technology development costs by 5%. Okay, well that sounds like a good thing. So let's bump that up and get that. Cool. So we've massively increased our budget. So instead of 185,000, we're now spending 285,000 a week, and we've got no income. Sounds great, doesn't it? Alrighty. Diagrams. This is actually graphs, and this takes a look at the company. I've got to say, these seem to be like quite imprecise. So they're on a very large scale. So they just seem to be pretty much flat lines most of the time. But I don't know, maybe once you get deeper into the game, they'll become more useful. Like I said, I've only played for a few hours. Finance perks. Okay, this is where you can use your department points to unlock department bonuses. And this is the same for all of the departments. They've all got, well, some of them have got perks, not all of them. So up here, it shows you that we've got 250 points. We're gaining 110 points for the work of department managers, and we're gaining 140 points for the high funding of the finance department. So we're getting 250 per turn, and we're actually getting 250 per turn on 4 of the departments, and then we're slightly higher on science. I'm not sure why, because it's still 140 and 110. So I don't know why. I don't know why that's higher. I don't know. So yeah, once that gets up to 1,000 points, then we could buy our first thing, which is increased prestige gain by 10% when the average worker morale remains above 50%. And these are all, there's lots of caveats on these things. So this unlocks the astronaut complex building. That unlocks the employment and training. This increases the scientific contracts by 5%. And then if the player sends 2 managers on the same field of study price, the price of their studies is reduced by 50%. Okay, fine. And then these go on a fair way. So, and this is just the perks for one department. Okay. Then if we go and look at, I don't know, if we go and look at HR, for example, here we can hire and fire people. Each work has several characteristics. The basics are management, leadership, and finance, which define the strength of an employee in a managerial position. But it doesn't really tell you. It doesn't kind of tell you. Well, what does which one affect? No idea. I still don't know. They also have two hidden characteristics. This seems kind of unnecessarily complicated to me, but we'll run with it. Those two characteristics can be unlocked either during their work. There's a random chance to unlock those perks, those traits, or there is a perk which helps you unlock those traits. It's dodgy. It's complicated. What else should you pay attention to is their willingness to work, which is their morale, the weekly salary, and their age, because employees can retire. You see, it's a depth to this game. The building of the PR department, where our workers work day and night for the good reputation of our company. Here we also manage our activities to attract more investors. Right, so there's a whole investment thing as well that we need to get into. So here we can recruit people. Now this I don't like. I wish that this is on a rotating thing. So if we look at this guy with the glasses, if I start zooming like going this way, I would love it to come to a stop, but it doesn't. Oh, it just rotates round. And it's kind of difficult to know when you've gone to the end of the list. You know what I mean? I would like it if it stopped at one end so that you could like just go back. But it just keeps rotating, so you never know where the start and end is. And then you've got to look through these guys. Now, it doesn't tell me, and it never kind of... There is a contract which tells you to hire someone, but I think it's a good idea to get these guys hired, like right from the get-go, because they have a dramatic impact on how many points you produce for each of your departments. So this is something you want to get to straight away. So the problem with that is that you don't know what their preferred departments are. That's something that you need to unlock. So if you get people early, then you're kind of guessing, are they going to be the right people? And so, yeah. The problem is if you don't, other companies will start snapping them up. I mean, this game is blowing my mind with all of this stuff. Which is, I don't know, it like, on one level it's a great thing, it's an awesome thing. On another level it's like, whoa, this is pretty heavy without a lot more guidance. Now, you can go into here and it says there's two types of workers. Managers are assigned to departments and increase their efficiency. Astronauts are sent on space missions. We can't recruit astronauts at the beginning. Workers develop themselves with time after filling the bar. Like, what bar? It's actually this bar here. The worker can change his statistics or even unlock a new perk. Also, you can send them to university. Yes, you can build a university and you can send your people and train them in university to have more control on how they develop. Worker morale affects company prestige and worker development. There's so many things in here. Icons on the left of what? represent changes occurring in morale, such as growth or fall. I assume it's these. I assume it's this one. Well, I guess it's this one as well. I don't know. Workers' morale increases when his favourite department is financed better than other departments, and otherwise it lowers. So are we saying then that it's impossible to keep everybody happy? It's like you can have one department that's got high morale, but everybody else is going to be down? I don't know. Am I interpreting that correctly? Don't know. Each worker has access to 4 perks, but only 2 of these will be activated. Unlocking a positive perk increases thanks to worker high morale. So we get back to the whole morale quandary again. Worker statistics fluctuate between 1 and 5. They can be increased by studies on university. Statistics are used to determine worker contribution. Each department or challenge during flight demands different skills. Great. Okay, thank you for that. The thing is, even having read all through that, it's at such a high level, it's so general, the help, that I really still don't know anything more. So, okay, fine. I am going to recruit somebody just to show you and to show you how it increases. So I'm going to pull somebody. Let's find somebody that's good. So you're rubbish. You're low, low, low. Or you're high, high, high. But your morale isn't really that high. But that's still very good. So I think we're probably going to snap them up, because if we don't recruit them straight away, another company will snap them up. Right. So yeah, they're definitely the best in terms of management, leadership, and finance. Morale, I would have liked it over 50%, but it's okay. And they're actually surprisingly inexpensive. They're only 3.2k per week. So we'll employ you, and then you can say which department you want to assign them to. And I think we're going to assign them to... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to assign you to science, because we're science focused. So let's get the biggest boost. And you'll see that as soon as we assign a manager, the points goes up quite a lot. Now this is the incentive to employ people early, but the problem is, am I employing people who actually want to be working in that department? Well, we won't know until we unlock that. Oh, there's the security office. I'd never spotted that. Okay, the security office window contains every information your people will get. Every information your people manage to get regarding your competition. Okay, if there's anything useful or interesting, you'll get short notes and full information here. Fine. You can also cripple other companies with collective materials. Just be careful, as doing so will increase your suspicion, which could... I guess that's your suspiciousness, which could lead to a police investigation. Okay, fine. So there's a whole espionage thing to this game as well. Like, you know, guys, I've been talking already for like 23 minutes, and I haven't even scratched the surface of this blooming game. Let me try and get on with it. So I've hired one person. We went through finance, science. Okay, this is our science department. This is basically a straight tech tree. I'm just going to run through this. To use a developing technology, it has to be researched at 80% reliability. Fine. Further refinement of a given technology raises its level of reliability even more, but it will also cost a correspondingly higher number of development points. I mean, this, I think, is verging on overly complicated. It's not just like research a technology and that's it. No, it's research a technology to 80%. Then you can use it, but then you have to research it a bit more, and you go up in increments of 5% to make it more reliable until you get it up to 100%. I mean, man, it's kind of... The depth of this game is kind of crazy. It really is. But I suppose, strategy-wise, man, there's so much to learn, and it's going to massively impact how you perform against your competition. Okay, so we can pick something to start researching. I am going to go for, I think, solid fuels, and that's because I know that I'm going to get contracts to produce rocket tanks. So that's what we're going to start off with. That one's, well, actually, that one allows us to manufacture rocket tanks. So you know what? I'm not going to... Well, I didn't realise that gave us the basic rocket tanks as well. You know what? We're going to do that one then. Originally, I went for that one because I wanted to multi-staging so I could get to producing the next level of rocket launch pad. But then I found out that it takes a long time to get to there. This is a long, long game. I haven't even completed the first turn, but seriously, guys, there is so much to this damn game. Without explaining all this stuff to you, I don't know how we can even begin to start like moving forward. We can't do the university yet. That's grayed out. Mission control. If I click on that, I'll get black screen to death, so we're not going into there. So we've got our science sorted out. This is production. We'll get to that later. And then this is the PR department. The PR department, where our workers work day and night for the good reputation of our country. Here we also manage our activities to attract more investors. The PR department produces not only development points for its department, but also prestige points, which are important because a lot of things get unlocked as the prestige of the company goes up. Specifically, lobbyists, but we'll get to that. In the investor panel, we can obtain additional financing for individual company departments. Each investor has a preferred department that he wants to finance. Investors are not limited to supporting only one company, so it's important to seek support to gain the largest possible portion of the available funding pool. Okay. To gain the interest of investors, we must send a lobbyist to them. Once a lobbyist is assigned, we can no longer delegate him to another investor. So it's like once he's there, that's it. He's dedicated that forever. The co-financing amount is divided between all companies that have sent a lobbyist to a given investor. The division is directly proportional to the number of lobbyists sent. Okay, so how do we get lobbyists? Well, from prestige. So as our prestige goes up, we get more lobbyists. And then we assign them to investors as investors become unlocked. Okay, so that's that. And then there's a whole PR perks thing. As we get points in our PR department, we can get, what's this? So this unlocks, this rewards from finance missions increased by 5%. Over here, this unlocks the conference center building. And then we can start running conferences. Yeah, because we haven't got enough to do already. See the lobbyist amount of other companies at your investors. Wow. I mean, wow. Seriously, I'm at the point where this is just blowing my mind, this game. There's so damn much to consider. Alrighty. Right now I'm thinking, well, should I hire some more managers or should I wait till unlock the perks so that I can see what they do? I tell you what, let's do a turn. There we go. So, we've received an important email. Now, this is something that I don't like. I would like these to stay on the screen so I could click on this one and then click on this one and then click on this one, right? Because we've got an email to look at, we've got a research to look at, and we've got a building complete. But I suppose, because what happens is you click on the first one, they all go away, right? But you do get emails about the other things, but I would kind of like them there to remind me of, but hey, that's me. And land hunting. Okay, as if we didn't have enough in the game already, you've also got random events. There is a possibility of buying land at a favourable price. To make a purchase, we have to spend 30,000, but the investment should bring regular profits equal to 5,000 after 5 years. I presume that's, I don't know, well, yeah, whatever. Do you want to take this opportunity? So we can either not split our attention and not buy, or this would be a great stabilizing factor in our volatile. So let's make, you know what, let's go for it. I've never seen, there's lots of random events. I've never seen this one before. Go on, let's do it. You must wait a little while, but after that you have a small but steady additional income source. Okay, so we've got to wait 5 years, and then we get 5,000 every month, every year, every day. I have no idea. Again, the game just doesn't give you the details. Drives me crazy. Right, let's look at the other events. We've the small launch pad has been built. Hooray! And there was much freaking rejoicing. So we've got a launch pad built, and we've got technological process. Basic aviation has just been developed. Now, what that means is that we have researched it to 80%. Now, if I research it again, which costs me another 861 points, it'll go up to 85%, and then it'll go up to 90, and then 95, and then, or we could just push on and get other stuff like kind of going. So this gives us rocket fins and satellites, and this is satellites and the blueprint for a small rocket level 2. Oh yeah, you can build rockets in this game as well. Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even go into production, did I? This confused the hell out of me when I first looked at it. So we've got production perks, first of all. So things like lowering our component prices by 25%. We're unlocking a testing center because you have to test your components. Yeah, you don't just build components. Oh no. You have to build components, then you have to test them, and depending on like how you test them, it increases the reliability of that component. And then the combined reliability of all your components that go into the construction of a rocket add up to the total reliability of the rocket. Oh man, are you seeing how insanely complicated this game is? Man. And then, okay, then you've got the depot. This is where we manufacture components or buy components. And later you can carry out quality tests for the components, as I was saying. But first we've got to unlock the necessary department perk, and it never tells you what that perk is. It says there's a perk. Go find it yourself. Build the necessary. Oh, and you need to build a building. Not going to tell you what building it is. Go find it yourself. If you want to produce your first components, You need to obtain required technology first. Good example would be basic aviation tech. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. It would allow you to build basic fuel tanks. See, this is how I knew to build basic fuel tanks. Another good option is using the components market. It will allow you to build basic fuel tanks for your rockets. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've read it twice. Okay, so, and then again, you know, it's, man, you know, we can go and read the help. All components are stored in a depot. The construction and purchase of new components are also ordered here. Later you can carry it, but it doesn't tell you how, right? And it's not obvious. Once you have unlocked the required department perk and built the necessary, again, but which department perk? In which department? Right? I've no idea. Okay, so basically, this is your inventory. So if you've built or bought anything, it'll be in here. Once we've unlocked component purchases, which I think that's in the production perks. Yeah, there we go. So we need to unlock this to unlock component purchases. Then this is where we manufacture our own. Now, because we have researched basic avionics, we can now manufacture 3 different types of fuel tank. Okay, and we can build them in 1 turn, and they cost us $80. So it's pretty cheap. But once we've built them, we would then have to test them. Now, you can fly with them untested. Yeah, you can imagine how well that goes. And then I've got to build, see, now it tells me that I need to build the test center to manage the testing reliability of the components. So you've got to build the reliability, you've got to build them, then test them, then you can use them. Man. And there's all kinds of different components. Like these are just the types of different components. And that's not even complete, I don't think. Is that all? That might be all the different subcategories. It's tanks, engines, utilities, struts, aero devices, and payloads. And that might be all of them actually. Yeah, we'll get to it. Probably not in this video, to be honest, because it's crazy how much there is to go through. So let's see. What am I doing now? I need to go to science again. Again, you need to remember that to go back to science and assign your next science project. So what am I going to do? Well, I guess I'm going to go with basic propulsive tech, which will allow me developing and integrating basic technologies required for further research on manufacturing different types of engines. So this will allow me to start researching things like solid fuel engines. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. This one allows you to build multi-stage rockets. That one I know. But I thought we'd unlocked the rocket tanks. We can build them. So I don't know what that means. Yeah, okay. Man, and seriously, like 4 hours I've been at this. Okay, so now that we have we've built the launch pad. Yeah, we've got a small launch pad. So that means now I've got to remember to go back to the contracts. God. And I can now take this well, I took the foreign start contract. I can now plan it. So it's an unmanned mission, so we don't need astronauts. That's fine. They're supplying the rocket. So if this was one of our projects, then we would have to build rockets, and we might have multiple rockets. And here you can loop through your rockets and choose which one you want for this mission. Delta V, we need 60 Delta V, and we've got 64, so this should be at least successful from that perspective. So these are the most optimal flight configurations. So it tells you when we have an available launch window and what launch site it's on. So on the small launcher, the first available launch window is on the 21st of January, which is going to be like next week. So I think we'll just accept that. Yep, go for that. Cool. Okay, is there anything? So I've assigned that. Okay. And we now have, because we've had a whole 1 turn. 37 minutes of this video, we've had 1 turn. Let's do another one. Okay, and you see we get another 250 points, so we're going to be able to start getting perks soon. Research. So I've got to go to science again because. Oh no, have we No, we haven't quite. Hang on. Did I not? I don't think I clicked on that. Okay, so I missed that. Oops, my bad. Okay, so I don't think there's anything for us to do really this turn because we're just waiting for the launch. But it doesn't kind of tell you like so what happens with the scheduled launch? Like, but I think it'll happen next turn. Here you go. But you only find out by playing. The game doesn't tell you. Now, this happens with a lot of things. So, preparations for launch will be completed. Do you want to watch the launch? Now, I've got some comments about this. Yes, I want to see it. Take me to the observation platform. Now, my initial reaction to this was, oh my god, this is freaking awesome. And let's face it, it is, right? You've got 4 different cams, right? So we've got this cam that we're on right now. And then we've got this cam, which is, it's another version, it's another view of the rocket pad. Oh, okay, so I'm glad that happened. So what happens is, you go through this checklist, and either you will get through everything, or you won't. And like any of these can fail. So this is saying, the chief engineer showed concern about the technical condition of the rocket hull. Postpone the mission by 1 week and perform a full diagnostic on the problem, or you can just launch and say, screw it. I'm sure it'll all be fine. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to say postpone the mission by a week. Okay, fine. All right. So really, there isn't anything. We need 1,000 points before we can start buying more perks. Which makes me think, which is the perk that unlocks. No, let's go to HR. There is a perk which unlocks. Yes. This is Discover Worker Department Preferences. So when you're hiring managers, it'll actually tell you which department they prefer working in. I mean, you would have thought that that would be something they would tell you at the interview. It's like, so like, are you interested in finance? Are you interested in science? Are you an engineer? I'm not going to tell you. That's freaking crazy. And it's not even the first thing, right? So we need 3,500 points before we can even know what departments managers want to work in. I think it's crazy, but hey, it's pretty wild. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to go to recruitment. So has anybody else? Yeah, look, see, other companies are already snapping people up. So let's see, who's like even hard? You're kind of, you know what? Relatively young, decent morale, at least 50%, not too expensive, and 2 highs. Go on, we'll take you. So I'm going to take you, Maria. I've no idea what department you want. I don't like. Are you an engineer? Are you an accountant? It doesn't tell you. It's crazy. I'm going to put you in the. Let's see. What do I want? I want. HR. I'm going to put you in HR. So now, instead of generating 250 points, we're going to generate 416. That is going to get us to the point where we can get that perk much quicker. So I probably should have done that right from the beginning. This is a game that, man, you're going to be playing this and learning and restarting and playing for a very long time. If you get addicted to this game, like, kiss your life goodbye. I keep saying it's insane. It's freaking insane, guys. All right, so let's do and I don't know. I think I would like more prompts. I feel like I don't really know what I'm doing. It's just like I'm clicking next turn, but have I done everything? So obviously, because it's each turn is a week, we now see. I think this is actually. I'm pretty sure that we shouldn't be getting this, because this is saying we've got a loss of communication with the artificial satellite. Well, what artificial satellite? We didn't launch a satellite. And I've had this come up in several different situations. And it's usually like after a rocket launch. But even an aborted rocket launch seems to give you this. And I think this has to be a bug, I think. Okay, so a week later, we've done our diagnostics. It doesn't tell us anything about it. It just says preparations for launch complete. And it doesn't tell you which mission it is, or I don't know. So yeah, again, a little bit vague. So here we go. We're going to launch a rocket. God, I hope it gets through this time. Now, like I said, now I love watching like SpaceX launches, and this is what SpaceX launches are like. And it goes through the various things. And right, are we going to get? Oh yes, we are cleared. So we will get main ignition. It'll come up and tell us that in a second, or it should come up and tell. Yeah, here we go. Starting procedures were successful. The main engine will be ignited. So here we go. We've got the countdown. 2, 1. That's a pretty loud rocket, guys. And I love that you can switch to these different views on top of the rocket. It's booming. When you're very close to the rocket, my God, it's loud. So, as you can see, we've gone through max Q, which is maximum aerodynamic pressure. That's when the stresses on the vehicle are the highest. And normally the rocket will throttle down a little before it gets to max Q to reduce those maximum pressures, and then, well, those maximum stresses. And then after we pass max Q, it'll then accelerate, or they'll increase the thrust up to maximum again. And at this point, it says booster engine cutoff, but this rocket doesn't have any boosters, so I'm not sure why there's a booster engine cutoff. And then look at this. We've just gone through main engine cutoff, but the main engine is still lit. And I don't get that either. I really, really don't get that. Okay, so the rocket is now off on its way, and it's approaching a section called flight. And I have no idea what that means, and there's no tooltips for anything, so, okay. Now, I don't know, if you were me, or, you know, wouldn't you expect, right, that this would carry on going through all of these? Okay, well, it gets very, very, very slow at this point, right? And I actually did wait, and I waited for it to get to fairing deploy. The mission was at 1 hour 10 minutes by that point. So, and there's no way, you can't click through, like you can't click ahead, or there's no speed controls, there's nothing that you can click on, right? So I can't see that they really expect you to sit here and watch that little dot get smaller for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Oh, and by the way, before it got to the fairing deploy, I was actually on this view, which I won't look at because it's so bloomin' noisy. I was on that view, and that view froze, and then when I actually exited it, when I exited this screen, because you can close it, it gave me a black screen of death, and the game crashed. So, I think this is still, I don't know, I think this is still in development, but I think they should, like, either shut this down or whatever until it actually works, because I don't see what, like, past the main engine cutoff part, which it doesn't even do, there's kind of no point looking at this. So when I first went in here, I was so excited, and then it was such a kind of anti-climax, because it's just that for hours until your game crashes. Okay, so, and when you exit out of it, it doesn't tell you was the mission successful or not successful or what. Again, I don't know whether this is just something that's an uncompleted feature, or I really don't know. I'm going to go on to the next turn, because you'll see we'll get that message again. Warning, loss of communication with artificial satellite. We will wait and see how it will develop, I guess. I have never had any kind of follow-up to this message. So I've never had it come back and say, oh, this has been done, or that's worked, or this crashed, or blew up, or I've never had any kind of feedback. We have been successful with a contract. Hooray! And there was much rejoicing. Contracts. Here we go. Contract completed. You will receive a payment of $500,000. Awesome. So that's paid for it hasn't even paid for 2 weeks. But we get 500 prestige points, and we gain 775 science points. Nice. We're up to like 4.4k of science points, so that's kind of going well. Prestige points, we're up to 641. Okay. But we need like 2,000 prestige points before we get our first lobbyist and our first bit of funding, actual funding. Events, technological progress. We've now researched basic propulsion tech. Hooray! Okay, so now I can remember to go back to science and pick my next bit of science that I'm going to research. Like, but there's no clue about what direction you should go in. You've kind of just got to guess, right? Basic science, start. Okay. Did it say there were new contracts? I can't remember. Because this is a thing, because these disappear. Let's go into financing and look and see if there's any new contracts. So, now this is a little bit buggy. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes all of these disappear. And it's not showing us. I don't think it's showing us. You know what? This may have changed. I told you it literally just updated before I started making this video, and this is not showing me as many contracts as it was before. It was showing me like loads of contracts. Obtaining a state subsidy. I think this is the contract that is supposed to point you towards hiring people. And basically, they'll give us some extra cash. You'll get 25,000 if we hire somebody in the PR department. Okay, so we'll accept that. This is co-financing the building of a medium launch platform. You definitely don't want to take that because it'll take bloomin' ages to get to that point. This is somebody looking for a medium launch pad. There's no way we could build a medium launch pad anywhere, anytime soon. And that's it. Okay, I was expecting there to be a lot more contracts pointing us at various things, but they're not there. Okay, so now we need to go to HR and hire somebody to work in PR, but we've no idea if any of these people is actually a PR person. It's crazy. Let's see, medium, low, high. So medium, low, high is the best so far. Medium, low, high. Medium, low, high. Yeah, medium, low, high looks about the best. So go on, we'll employ you to work in PR. Okay, fine. Awesome. So let's have I got science running? Yeah. I'm working on basic science, aren't I? Yes, because it doesn't have a start. Yeah. I'm kind of tempted to complain that it doesn't say that this is like, there's nothing to say this is running. It's just the fact that it hasn't got start on it. That's how I'm supposed to know that that's running. But I mean, it's minor, I suppose. Now, by the way, now that we've launched a rocket, we should be able to go to mission control. You know what? Before I do it, I'm going to save because it should be working now. But I'm actually going to save this. I'm going to save this SkyX1. There we go. Save data. There we go. So if we go to, where was it? Science, and we go to mission control. Now, there are multiple... Okay, so now, after we've launched that first mission, instead of getting the black screen of death, you get this. Now, having launched a rocket, I thought, right, let's go and find it. Because this shows you, like, the orbits of rockets and stuff. So, let's go to Earth, and you can... It doesn't tell you this anywhere, but you can actually zoom in. So, and there's the moon. Let's zoom in closer. All right, cool. So let's have a look. Now, is it classed as our rocket or is it somebody else's rocket? I don't know. Okay, well, it's not our rocket because there's nothing. What about foreign rockets? Because it was actually a foreign entity that was launching from our launch pad. No. So, I don't know. I have no idea. Does this work? Does this not work? You can change the visibility of stuff, by the way. If I zoom back out. So you can, for example, turn off the names and descriptions. You can turn off what you can see. You can turn off whether you can see orbits or not. I don't know. And there's no help on here at all. So I have no idea what you're supposed to do here. Sorry, I'd love to be able to tell you what this is for. No idea. Not the faintest idea. Sorry about that. Hey, it's what it is. All right. So next. Now, I was hoping that there was going to be a contract to build a rocket motor, which I was going to... Oh, here it is. Procurement for one component. Right. So, this is the construction of a single prototype fuel tank, the Donkey FT1. To successfully execute this contract, we should research the basic aviation technology and then order the production of this component in the company's depot. That is one of the most... useful things in here. So we'll accept that. Now that means I want to go to production, and if I go to the depot, and I tell you this is confusing as well. It's like, because if you actually go, if you happen to stumble into the assembly room, it's like you'll spend lots of time in the assembly designing elements of the rocket and managing cargo that they take into orbit. If you don't need an introduction, you can skip it. Okay, thanks. To design a rocket, select the type that will serve as the basic for the schematic. Each type of the rocket has different parameters, including different distribution of possible modules. The next rockets are unlocked with corresponding technologies. Okay. So, if you happen to miss the depot, which I actually did the first time I came in here, and I went to, because I was like, no, I don't want to go to the depot, which is where stuff would be if I'd like bought it or something. I want to go to the assembly room because I want to build something, which was intuitive to me. But no, you actually build stuff. So then, now you can go and say, okay, so what, I have to choose a type of rocket. And then there's no help here, really. I mean, there is some help here, but it doesn't tell you anything, really. Yeah, the rockets are unlocked with corresponding technologies. Yeah, that's all it tells you. So you've got to figure out that to build a rocket, you have to select the blueprint of the type of rocket that you want. Click on confirm, right? Then you get this, the assembly tutorial, which each rocket must include necessary modules. Oh, by the way, it doesn't tell you what modules are necessary and which are optional. Optional modules can be filled depending on the mission to be fulfilled by the rocket. Okay, some components could take up more than one slot, so keep it in mind. What? Where design your rockets? Tell you guys, this game, man, it's freaking confusing. In the case of larger tanks, it takes more time to empty them, so they will be discarded at a later state of the flight. Okay. Smaller tanks are more efficient as their faster rejection deducts mass from the rocket at an earlier stage. I'll tell you what. If this is all the information that you get about building rockets, man, you need more. Man, you need more. Another important aspect of rocket construction is the level of reliability. It's calculated based on the reliability of the components used. That's with the whole tech. But it's calculated based on the reliability of components used. The higher the reliability, the less chance of negative events during the launch and flight of your rocket. Right, but it doesn't tell you that the way that you increase that is by testing your components. The information is very scattered and whatever. So, okay, so now we're into, this is the blueprint, right? Go back. So, what we need to do, it's like, again, it doesn't tell you, like, what the hell do I need to do here? And in actual fact, what you have to do is you have to either go to the component purchases and buy components, and then drag and drop. You don't drag and drop to here. You drag and drop them from here into each of these individual boxes to build a rocket. Yeah. But you can also go to here and build stuff. And if you hadn't been into the depot, which I hadn't, I was like, so what? So do I build them here? But why am I building them as part of a rocket? Why can't I just build them? Because that's what I was supposed to do. Anyway, the ultimate. I wanted to show you this at least show you this in this episode. Do I want to save the project now? Actually, the right answer is to go into the depot, right, and then go to here and say, so we want a donkey. So construct one donkey. Construct. Thank you. Right. So we've got a donkey, or I guess we will have a donkey in one turn. Okay, fine. And yeah, so if I execute the next turn, okay, so research complete, new contracts are available, and contract success. So let's have a look at contract success. Remember, there were 3 messages up here, but there's only 2 emails in here. So we've got contract completed. You'll receive a payment of 10,000, and your reputation will increase by 100 prestige points. The contract procurement for one component has been completed. Hooray. Okay, so I guess that's fine. And then let's go to events. Oh, hang on a second. Was the... Okay. Was the 2 things? No. No, it's just that one. Technological progress. So basic science has just been developed. Okay. So we then have to go back into here and choose our next science project. But Still no clue as to how important getting reliability is up on these things. Like, does the reliability affect... I'm assuming that the reliability affects the reliability of the components that we produce, which will then be revealed in testing? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm guessing I would have to play this game for, I don't know, probably another day or two, at least, to get a firm handle on what the hell is going on. So yeah, and there were three things. I looked at 2 emails, so there's one thing that I've forgotten, and I don't know what it was. We did a contract. We did a science thing, and I don't know what the other one was. So yeah, I've no idea. And as far as we haven't even got. We haven't gone through many turns. So we've just got to the point, right, where we can start investing in departmental perks. So I could go to, for example, go to HR perks, and buy the first one of those, which is increase new workers' morale by 10. Okay, fine. So now we move on to the next tier, but I still need another 2,500 before I can even discover which department my workers prefer working in. Okay, fine. Let's see. Let's go to finance. Finance perks. I can now afford to get this. Increase prestige gains by 10% when the average worker morale remains above 50%. Okay, fine. We'll get that then. And then, so that's, science doesn't have perks. Production does have perks, and we've got 1k, so we can now get assembly lines. Lowers component prices by 25% when we start to buy components, which is good. And probably when we start to make them. Actually, I wonder if that does affect when we make them. So it was, we were paying 80 before, weren't we, to make something. We go to the depot, and let's see. Nope, still 80. So it must be cheaper when we're buying them, but we haven't got to unlocking them yet. All right, guys, we're going to stop there, right? Because this video is an hour long. What I've been trying to show you is the sheer depth and complexity of this game. I mean, it's huge. This could be a freaking amazing game. It's just gone into early access. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more development coming along, which is going to be, I hope, my God, I hope they're going to add more in terms of the help, because the game needs it. The learning curve is insanely steep. I mean, I play games for a living, and I have found it incredibly hard to get started in this game. Literally, I came in here, I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And every little thing has been a fight to figure out how it works. Hopefully, I have given you some kind of idea of the scope of the game and the complexity of the game. If you want me to show more of the game and actually carry on playing on and turn this into a series, please let me know. I really want to know your comments. I really seriously want to know what you guys think about this game. So thank you for watching. If you want to go check it out, it's on early access on Steam. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a bizarre video. I have had a very bizarre week. So I'm going to go and have a rest. I'm going to catch you for the next one. Peace out.